So I knew my book was going to become a figure of controversy because you can't talk about Superman or Zack Snyder anywhere on the internet without two very vocal sides forming violent opinions about it. But I didn't expect it to happen quite like this. I expected people to at least wait for my book to be out to be mad at it. And due to some issues with EPUB formatting, the fact that I have so many images in my book, I cite evidence, I use screenshots of what people have said in articles and online because I don't just expect you to blindly believe what I have to say. I had some formatting issues and the process was kind of messed up and I had to repair a file and it delayed everything. And so people have been reviewing it without reading it. And so I thought I'd read some of them. And I would just respond to them. So, Aaron EK 2003. 2003, wow, you are young. Scam, worthless waste of time, defamation. Okay, so I knew that some people might try to claim defamation on this, which is why I put allegedly in front of anything that wasn't outright confirmed. Because it's like, we know Joss Whedon was a prick, but legally he wasn't taken to court for prickhood. So I just have to say allegedly on set he acted X, Y, and Z. This book is a complete waste of time. There's nothing original or new here. First of all, that's not true. I did all original art for every single chapter. It's incredibly biased and leaves out so many important details that it doesn't cover all sides of the story. Now, I believe that some people could take that opinion. I like to think that I present both sides, just maybe not in equal measure, because one side has been shown, abundantly online. I don't really need to convince you of that side. I just need to show you the flip side so you can weigh both options. But I do touch on everything. And really, the author who wrote this has a clear agenda against Zack Snyder. For what? Making a few movies that he didn't like? It's stupid, really. I don't know how to break this to you, buddy, but you did not read the book. And when you do, you're going to need to give me an apology, Aaron EK. It's okay. There's plenty of people who say way worse things in my book that I cover, but you kind of look like a jerk. Thomas 98. Okay, well, a little bit older now, still kind of young. No reason to buy and read it. Why would you buy it and not read it? You would just give me your money? Just buy it, I guess. I do not consider someone who wrote this book for their own ways to make profits, trying to humiliate someone in what makes no sense is why is this made. I would consider do not buy a book, cost $30 for nonsense and for personal agenda. Well, frankly, the hardcover I don't make much money from at all. It costs a lot of money to print, color, bind, and distribute. I really make more money off of the ebooks, which I've priced as competitively as I possibly can. You are getting over 500 pages of information, at least last time I checked. Again, hopefully the EPUB format didn't dick up the works. Everyone is biased, but I present all sides, the for and against Snyder, Gunn, and everyone in between before and after. I don't say that everyone should agree with me. In fact, I go out of my way in several chapters to cover perspectives I don't personally agree with, because I want people to understand why people do feel that way so that we can talk to them. You should read the chapter Tower of Babel or Quantum Discussions. It is the only chapter with 2 titles about how all that happened. John V. 203322. So he hasn't even been born yet. He's from the future. Written by a child. No, I'm not. I'm unfortunately, age has continued. A total scam. $30 for this. It's scandalous. And how it's written seems written by a child. You haven't fucking read it. So how would you know? Also, the people I was showing it to for feedback really liked it. And it was people who don't all have the exact same opinion on these DC films. Obviously, none of these guys seem to think that they should be recommending my stuff. All of them have no spoilers, at least. 9 days ago, 10 days ago, 10 days ago. I only uploaded the fixed EPUB 2 days ago. So how could you have commented 10 days ago and had any knowledge on anything in my book? You know, this reminds me actually of whenever I saw people saying that DC fans do review bombs, and it's true. Black Panther got review bombed, the first one, by the quote-unquote real DC fans who gatekeep everything and think they're the hottest thing since sliced bread. They were the ones gatekeeping and doing that because they saw competition with the post-Snyder DCEU. Now, there were claims that there were review bombs against Godzilla vs. Kong. I think the movie was just dog shit. But apparently, review bombing is when movie bad and internet don't think bad. So, whatever. But I guess this is the first time I can definitively declare that, yeah, some Snyder fans got so defensive and so offended by a book they hadn't read that they went on the offensive, despite the fact that I think quite a few of these chapters would help them in the long run. Interesting. Honestly, I actually had to work in some places to try not to sound too biased, describing the things that James Gunn was accused of without making him like a total schizo. I probably went through 8 iterations of that single paragraph trying to encapsulate why some people don't like James Gunn without sounding like I was basically going to put him in front of the Hague and have him tried for war crimes. Because I don't know how much of a weirdo he is. I know what he's accused of, I know what the courts say, and I know what he said online, but I don't know if he's changed. I don't know him. The same way I don't know Zack Snyder, but I do know that Humberto Gonzalez lied a lot about him, and that the Randian objectivist claims that have haunted him for the better part of a decade now originated from a woman who has been described as a con woman by her peers in reporting and by a sexual predator. So, if you think I'm biased against Zack Snyder, then you're going to hate what I say about everyone else, because I think I went pretty easy on him. Sure, I mentioned that the Snyder fan base is overreactive, easily agitated, and lashes out for no good reason, but I also say it's mostly because they've been abused by a system for over a decade, and they just don't know how to react in any way other than utter self-defense and terror. So if that seems biased to you, then by all means, buy my book, actually read it, and then complain about it. But if you don't intend to engage with the media, maybe you shouldn't talk about it. I would think that a Snyder fan would understand that perspective. Maybe you're not so smart after all. Food for thought, Snyder fans.